What's going on, guys? Agent Psycho here. Welcome back to another video, and in today's video it's quite a special sort of video because we're going to be doing, I don't know, maybe the first video in a series of interviews, but today I'm going to be interviewing the amazing, talented Chili. So hello, Chili. You can say hello to all the burbs and moosies out there.
Hi, burbs and moosies. It's chilly.
It's Chili.
Yeah, it's
Hello.
chilly. Gotta go a little sassy with the intro.
Yes, let's do it. But yeah. So I think we should try and fire off straight away. So let's go with the
All
first
right.
sort of question. What is your job in Party Parrot World?
Okay. I'm a 2D illustrator, a creative collaborator, and I basically make the concept designs for creatures, the general illustrations, and more recently I'm working on backgrounds and mini games. I help design the parrots, the pets, the moose, but not the moose mask item because that one's Emai. And then most recently, the Party Parrot logo.
So pretty much all of the character stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Your
well, the creatures, not
the
the characters
creatures.
themselves.
Okay.
Yes.
So more or
So
less
it's
the
it's
creatures.
yeah, because like we have other Amanda working on a lot of the like character designs of like Block Watcher and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So that is, yeah, Chili's sort of job. There you go.
Yeah.
How has it been working on the backgrounds? How have you found that? Are you used to working on
Oh,
backgrounds?
I
Or
am still working on backgrounds. It's been really fun because we get to have like the full screen mode on desktop and the mobile version.
oh,
So
okay.
it's like you make a two-in-one background.
Yeah.
So that's what's a really fun like challenge for it.
Because obviously it's one thing just making the background. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
here's my dimensions. But
Mhm.
doing it for obviously PC and mobile, it's
Mhm.
obviously, like you said, a bit more of a challenge because then you got to go, all right, it looks good on my PC, but in terms of mobile, that's going to be a lot more squashed down and cropped.
Yeah, and you
Um,
got to plan ahead for like tablets and all the different
yes.
platforms because we're going to be cross-platform.
Oof, you're going to get that nice mobile gameplay, and we're also going to get that nice PC. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And coming to the PS5, no, that's a joke. But but yeah, I guess we'll get on to the next one. So let's just basically tell me a bit about yourself. Who are you? You know.
Okay, well, I'll start with the general stuff. I love being goofy. I love trying new hobbies. I've been playing virtual worlds since 2005. That started with like Webkins and just like those really old Flash games. And I started waddling around the community in February 2010. So I'm basically a fangirl at heart because like I think that I was one of the craziest like fangirls sending in stuff. Like I mailed the team. I sent in fan mail with like figures and drawings, and I was asking them questions all the time. Those Field Fridays and Moose Mondays, I was always there.
You were the number one fan. You
I mean, not I'm sure there are other number one fans, but I was quite as crazy as they come when it comes to enthusiasm.
You're just like acknowledge me.
Yeah, acknowledge me. So what was really cool is that basically because I mailed the team a lot, uh I got a lot of like input from like Moose and Polo and other team members
Mhm.
uh for like little pieces of advice and like challenges of how to grow as an artist and that kind of stuff.
Oh wow.
And that basically started in 2012, up until around like 2016. Because I would just like mail them and say like I want this is my dream job. How do I work here? I was like a teenager. How do I work here?
Give me the job. Give me it.
Yeah.
I so
And
want that job. Like, come on.
oh,
You know?
but it was also just like I love like children's content in general because I
Hmm.
love that innocence factor of it.
Yes.
So even to this day, I love watching kids movies. I love that stuff. I love the innocence of it. But Club Penguin specifically, I was like, notice me, senpai, teach me your ways. Anime glowing eyes, teach me your ways.
Please, just accept me. Come on.
Yeah, so it didn't really start there though because it started with I was just kind of more casual fan. I would
Mhm.
make like figures, like little clay figures
Yeah.
of Club Penguin for my younger cousin. Because he was trying to use like Littlest Pet Shops to play Club
Okay.
Penguin, which they're very cutesy and they're not Club Penguin. So I'm like, you know what? I don't know where to find the mystical figures that actually exist, so I'm just gonna make some.
Hey, we got Club Penguin at home.
Yeah,
Let's.
we got Club Penguin at home moment. So then when I got encouraged by the team, I sent in a ton of figures to them of all the people that were like interacting with me, and I made
Hmm.
40 figures for the Club Penguin
Oh my
staff of
god.
like penguins, puffles, all of that kind of crazy stuff.
So,
I mean it. I was a highly energetic fan.
so pretty much you were just like, hey, you've interacted with me. You fell into a trap now. You-
Yes, now you must receive a gift as reward.
Against your
You
will,
must be noticed.
you must
You
now
notice me,
get
I
a
notice
figure.
you.
There you go. It's like it's a deal
But
exchange.
oh yeah. But that kind of inspiration of even thinking about the behind the scenes stuff, I didn't even consider that
Mm,
until the behind the scenes YouTube video for behind the scenes 2011.
yes.
Uh
That's like the secret
Moose made
agent
that
one,
one.
isn't it?
Moose and Polo, yeah, the secret
Yes.
agent behind the
Such
scenes.
such an amazing video. I still find it so funny. Saying is it Lane and he's just
Yeah.
he's just tapping away. I think Moose explained it. He was saying we just we just told him to sit there and pretend like he was pressing on it, and it's just one of the
Oh, I love
funniest
that.
things. It's just
And that's the origin of the Operation Blackout too. Is
yes,
yep, yep.
it is, isn't it? Because they thought just to mess with people, they would put it on the screen or something. And then everyone was like, Operation Blackout. What? What is this?
So
But
yeah, so that's what I really like about that video too, even looking back, is it's kind of the power of videos to inspire.
mhm.
And and it also like brought awareness of, hey, the fans are really gonna notice things.
Oh yeah,
They're gonna
they're
notice
gonna keep an
every
eye out.
detail. Oh
It
yeah.
doesn't matter how small you put it. It could be in right in the corner, and
Oh
you've
yeah.
tried to draw as much. They're gonna notice it. And there will be conversation about it, and I love that. I think that's one of the best things really about a community, isn't it? Like when everyone just
Yeah.
comes together to kind of solve those things. Like the teaser example, what Moose made,
Oh yeah.
that amazing teaser. Just seeing everyone, in the live chat for
Oh yeah.
when I premiered the thing, and also just in the Discord in general, it was so cool.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
hyping each other up is like what makes a community special.
100%. Like the amount of like wholesomeness which comes from that hype, from what I've seen,
Mm.
is just
It brings out the
so
best
cool.
in people. It brings out the
Yeah,
best. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
But when that 2011 video came out, I was only making like gray colored pencil, not colored pencil, just pencil. Not even colored pencil, I'll correct myself,
Just
just
a
pencil.
pencil.
Just a pencil. Look, I drew a penguin. And basically from that video, I'm just like, maybe there's something bigger. And they kept posting more videos, and I kept
Mm.
getting more invested. Like I was hanging on the line, like, all right,
Feeding
give
you
me more.
breadcrumbs. They are.
Feed me all the breadcrumbs. Who are these people that have this magical job? And
And that's where it all
and
began. Give me the job. Give it no.
no, no, it's the magic. Like it's wholesome.
Yes.
And I just wanted to experience that because at the time I was like a pretty lonely kid. Um, I was homeschooled for like half of my schooling stuff, so like it was it's online school, but it's
Mhm.
homeschool. but it was just like really, it was like magical. Like, hey, this is a part of society I have not seen. We have like
Yeah.
reached the S tier status.
Because obviously, I
But
can imagine like being homeschooled as well. You didn't really get as
yeah,
much sort of like social interaction. So I think
I mean, I
CP would have been
did,
a
but I
great
didn't.
way for
Yeah,
that.
so I that's where the virtual world importance really came in for me,
Mhm.
and why like all of those like different hobbies came into play. Because you do care about the people that you do interact with when you're a homeschooler.
Yeah, yeah.
You care about those people that are in your life.
You learn to
But
value them a lot more.
exactly.
You
And
don't take it
so,
for granted,
yes. In Cool Times was the moderator at the time. I met her in Business Moose's Igloo. And she was there and Moose was like, "Hey, this is another person that works at Club Penguin. Say hi."
Like,
I'm like, "Oh
hi!
God." I'm like, "Oh, okay, hi."
Oh
Like
my
the
god,
fangirl thing.
hi,
"Hello,
senpai!
senpai. What do you do?" And she's like,
It's five figures!
no.
It's...
She said she picked out the fan art, and I'm like, I could make fan art. She's like, make the fan art then.
She's like,
And I'm
do
like,
it.
I'm too shy. I'm too shy to
I'm
make
too
fan art.
shy. I'm doing...
Too shy. Ooh, woo. She's like, make it and I'll look for it. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, make it and I'll look for it. And it was the warm coats, warm hearts video, and ever since then I made 30 really like elaborate illustrations
Mm-hmm.
for a teenager,
And that sort of
each getting more
sparked.
difficult. Yeah, so I am a super fan. That is the bit about me,
Right.
and Moose and Polo are at the center of that. So,
There you are. Two very great people amongst other amazing CP
oh
members.
yeah, yeah. The team as a whole inspired me
Yes.
very directly.
I think you definitely made that clear to them as well. So I think they must, yeah, they definitely appreciate it a lot. I could probably imagine. Because you gotta imagine like how much stuff they got sent to them as well. Like
Mm.
that must have been like such a cool sort of
Well,
thing.
yeah, I think it also like they just were surprised because I spent like multiple hours on these like little like, oh, I love you. It wasn't just like, hey, I drew this for two
Yeah,
hours.
exactly. Yeah,
It was like, hey, I spent all day. I
for
spent two
you,
days making this.
right?
Yeah, and that's what fan creation is all about. It's putting your heart into it.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
impactful, which is why
Hmm.
people should be making fan art for, I don't know, Pipe Parrot.
Yeah, any type of creations, fan art, any of that.
You should put it in the fan art channel. I'm just saying. So, you know,
Yes.
hypothetically, you should,
It makes
you
me
know,
really happy to see it, for sure.
it's always so
It's so
cool for a
surreal.
channel.
It's so awesome. There's so many talented people out there.
There really
And
is.
so many learning artists too. I love both of it. I love seeing the talented and I love seeing the growth.
It's also so cool when like one person sort of like posts one picture and then that sparks like an idea chain.
Oh yeah.
And then people, it starts off as this one idea, and then people bounce off that one, and it's come a new thing, and it becomes a new thing, and then suddenly it just becomes this amazing idea, which has had everyone contribute to it, and it's so cool.
That's what we call
So
the
cool.
good eggs, the people that support each other, and it just
Yes,
starts this cycle of support.
exactly.
And yeah, it brings out the best.
It really does. It really does. But yeah, the next question, I suppose, when
Hmm.
did you first discover Party Parrot World?
That's a really good question because technically I didn't discover it.
Oof,
Technically,
oof.
Polo reached out to me. Polo reached out to me very randomly on September 14th last year.
Mm-hmm.
And he just pitched the overall project, like the Moose and Polo show, which to me as like a fan from all that time ago, I'm like the Moose and Polo show. I remember you talking about this. I remember the hype. And then he's like, yeah, we're making virtual worlds, a parrot world and a moose world, and yeah, we're gonna base it the bird off the kakapo meme culture parodies, but the main goal is just to like celebrate the good eggs to have innocent creative fun together again.
Mm-hmm.
And but it just came very randomly. So I hadn't talked to Polo like in years. I hadn't really been active in the community in years. So it came as just like a totally like out of left field surprise.
Sort of shock. It's
Yes.
like,
And
me?
even when I got it, yeah, me? What? What? I wasn't even here.
It's like, someone pinch me. Yeah.
Yeah, someone pinched me. Yeah, so I dealt with a lot of like starstruck
Mm-hmm.
feelings when I joined the team because I was looking at it through the fangirl lens, like, oh
Yeah,
my
it's
gosh.
literally your childhood dream. All those times,
Yeah.
you tried to get a job at Club Penguin when you were not of age.
Yeah.
Now, suddenly as an adult now, you've
Yeah,
got
exactly. So
that job, sort of that inner child in you is going, haha,
but
yes.
but it's more than just the job because kind of what Moose and Polo like recognized when I was like that young is that I had so much passion for the team and the community, not just art.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like a mix of all of the above. Like it was the team, it was the community, it was my dreams, it was my passion, it was just creating stuff randomly to make other people happy. It was this like whirlwind of all of the things that bring heart into something.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't really about the job because like anyone can have a dream, but it's how much heart are you willing to put into that dream
Yeah.
to make it real? Like how much are you willing to put into this, your heart and soul, to make this idea what you love represented? Yeah, because for me it was finding that community. Because like I said, I was a homeschooler,
Yeah, exactly.
partially homeschooled. So
So that
I care
community
about the
meant a
community.
lot.
Yeah, and I would notice other people who were like, there would be like times people would write in. I saw other people write in that they were in the hospital and they couldn't go to school because of, they were in the hospital and
Mm-hmm.
they could still play online on these virtual worlds. And that's kind of what the value of a virtual world is to me. Is it doesn't matter where you are in life. It doesn't matter what disability or what social circle you're in.
Mm-hmm. You can
It
still
doesn't matter if you're
be
cool or not. Yeah, you
someone,
just are.
right?
Yeah.
You
And you
can
can be the best version of yourself.
exactly. You can actually make an impact. No, like you said,
Yeah.
no matter what situation you're in, if
But
in a
that's why they
hospital
they
or
reached out.
whatever.
Yeah. But they reached out because they knew that I was already kind of obsessed with that.
Mm-hmm.
More than just, but it also helped that they had the figures that had my name on it. So sign your artwork, sign your stuff,
Sign it. Note from Chile.
sign it,
Sign it.
sign it so they remember you.
Because who knows? In I don't know, several years' time, could be
Yeah,
working for them. Who
yeah.
knows? Right?
You could be a good egg that continues the cycle of celebrating good eggs.
Exactly. And you could be. I think that's one of the weird things, though, isn't it? It's, obviously as a child, you were sending in these letters to these people who you looked up to. And now, essentially, you're now standing in the shoes of the people who you were sending those
Oh
letters
yeah.
to.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that weird to think about?
It is. It is. So that's what I mean. It was like totally starstruck moment. Feels like you're a time traveler. Feels like somehow, how did I get here?
Yeah, it's like
You
someone's
get
lying to
there
me, right?
by being an authentic version of yourself, being the best version of yourself, and showing other people that you care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all very important sort of
So
things, I think.
so that's why Party Parrot World and the virtual world, or the moose and suits, that kind of stuff, it really connected with me. It just immediately like, yep, I'm in. I'm in. Say no more. I'm
Yeah,
here. Let's
exactly.
go.
So you do not need to pitch it to me, Polo. I
Yeah, you
get
don't need
it.
to pitch it to me. You
I'm
just say
on.
hi, and I'm like,
Deal.
I'm in.
When do I
Yes.
start?
Community. When do I start?
It's like, do I start now? I was like, no, not quite. No, I'll start now. I'll start now. So, right. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that would be a nice segue to the
Ooh,
next
segue. Moose
question.
and Polo show meme.
Right. Gonna have to get a bunch of gifts in here. Gonna have to
Oh
get...
yeah. Better add it in.
Oh, I am. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. But yeah. So yeah, let's just do it. So, what's your favorite design on Party Parrot World that you've made?
This one's gonna make you laugh because it's not what anyone would expect. It's the cattail pet. It's the cattail pet. So the reason why is like the designs for the pets were actually really hard because you had to like figure out like how are they similar? What kind of face do they have? Like
Yeah.
are they going to be the same shape? How do they like look like each other? What are their personalities? And so it was like
Shape language as well. That's a big
yes, shape
thing.
language, all that kind of stuff. So like each pet took like a lot of thought into the design that was going into them. But like Tech 70 and Polo, they had done like this really good job preparing pet ideas. So I knew I just had to pick from the list.
And just
I just
knock them off
picked
one by one.
yeah, knock them off the list. But the cattail like stood out to me immediately because my sister sent me a meme last year and before all this and it was like a cattail song and it was just like me want bite, me want plant corn dog delight and I'm just like okay, it's hungry because it looks like a corn dog. It's hungry, that's its personality.
That is it.
It's
It is.
goofy. Yeah, and I'm a little bit of a nerd too, so real life cattails expand, like they fluff out if you like
Oh.
poke with them. They're
Yeah.
just like made of fluff. So I just thought it would be funny if it's like full of fluff, then it's like hyper. It's hyper, it's hungry, it's goofy. And so I wrote in my notes like ready hungry, and then I just drew like this like almost like happy unhinged, but just happy because it is hungry, but it's happy and it's ready. And I just like to imagine that it grows when it eats too much because it has that
Just
fluffy side to it.
Just that I like the thought that the more it eats, like the more fluffy it
Yes.
gets. To the point it just
That's my
becomes
idea.
one. It just becomes one furball. It
Yeah.
just covered in
It just
fur.
and then it just like sneezes and then returns back to its normal state.
You know what? That would be a good animation. You know.
It reminds me of the Ches Sandy game, Algebrunch.
Yes.
So
So
that's my favorite design.
what was this is really the next question, but I guess it'd be a good
Mhm.
kind of thing is what was really like your inspiration for those sort of pet designs? Because I'm saying this because I know that someone said in one of my comments they look very sort of like anime, some of them, and there is definitely some sort of like inspiration there. I'd say there's definitely some.
Oh, okay. So the like ideas and concepts that like of coming up with like okay it's a cattail, okay these like moose and polo like they are like okay the pet rocks stuff like that was moose and polo just coming up with like the basic idea and then tech 70 came up with like all right what specific ones are we going to do pulling from
Hmm.
the list what ones are we doing and then I'm like long down on the list okay chili go crazy with this. Draw us a cattail as a pet,
Just do it.
and just do it. You know. And they sent me like just different stuff. Like we have the element system in our
Yes.
game, and everything's based on like a little bit connected to elements. So even that kind of goes into the pets. Like they have like
Hmm.
ways that they connect with the elements too, or at least not connect. Okay, but your item, your hat item is like I don't know particular off the top of my head,
Yeah, I
but it will
can't
be like
either.
registered as a fire item or something like that.
Yeah, I remember seeing it on the air table. Everyone's like
Mhm.
sort of parrot design was with an element.
Little Easter egg there.
Right? I was just like,
So that keeps the designs
oh.
kind of varied. Yeah, that keeps the designs varied because then we'll like tap into like different elements.
Ooh.
But that's kind of what went into like the shape of the pets. Now for the faces, like the anime-ness that you're talking about,
Yes.
it's not anime. I'm sorry. It's
Ah.
Littlest Pet Shop. Not really, but just like I am a Littlest Pet Shop nerd. I have over 100 of them in my room still currently. They have these massive eyes. And they're just really tiny like smiles and I'm just like, "Yep. And
That's
that kind of
adorable.
is like the chibi style in general,
Yeah,
like the chibi art style.
very sort of,
So,
a mixture between, yeah, chibi and kawaii,
but I do
that
think
sort of
there are a
stuff.
lot of Pokemon fans out there. So,
Yes, we
there's gonna
love
be
we love our
other
Pokemon
elements.
fans.
There's gonna be other elements that people might say, "Oh, this reminds me of that. Oh, that
Mm-hmm.
reminds me of that." And it's not that they were or weren't used as reference. It's that it just kind of subconsciously ends up in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There you
But
go.
that's kind of where the idea came from. Is it's just like the big chibi round eyes on a plant, on a rock, on these different elements. Yeah.
There you go. So that
Yeah.
is answered. Can't remember your name, but whoever put that in my comment section, there you go. There's the explanation to your question. But yeah, the next one. What's your favourite mini game?
I'm really biased with this one.
I feel like I know
I
what this one's gonna be.
It's Connexcellent
Yeah.
because yeah, I made the artwork for Connexcellent, which is just like the easy answer.
Right.
But I made the artwork, but I had help from my art director JD, and we had Tech 70 on the team, Polo on, like we had this huge team. Freya came, like we had like a ton on the team, and we were just all collaborating and dreaming up, and it was just so fun. Like it was the moment that it went from okay, we're building like to yeah, we're a collaborative team. Let's go. Let's get this. And that's what's been fun is just seeing the team grow through collaboration, like as we've been collaborating, and that's where like Connexcellent was like a turning point, at least for me. I'm sure like each part of the team has their own like turning point moment, but Connexcellent was just like this moment where it's like, yeah, teamwork does make the dream work. So the other reason why is me and Tech 70 were chosen for that team because we were rivals in the game.
Oh.
Yes, we had a history of playing it very strategically to try to win, like almost like chess. Like you
Mhm.
gotta plan ahead, set traps.
So I know Tech's definitely got quite the reputation for
Oh
her
yes, oh yes. So
excellent
we
activities.
had a group, and I was part of the group. Tech is the self-proclaimed victor of the group. We'll see about that. I think I've won more Connexcellent games than they have.
Oh,
Ooh,
oh, throw
it's
some shade,
on.
Tech. I don't know.
But it was really sweet to work on the game with them because, like, it's like old time's sake. But I also learned a lot on that one because my art director JD helped a lot.
Yeah,
And so we had like the pets on the chips so that it's colorblind friendly. Because, like, a lot of times when you have those style games, they don't really think about, like,
not much
okay, here's color
accessibility.
red, here's color blue, and
Hmm.
uh-oh, too bad if you're colorblind. So we're like, no, we're gonna prepare for that. So we put the chips on them, and I learned a lot about design from JD on Connexcellent.
That's really cool, actually. It's really.
There's one more small tidbit. Okay.
Oh.
So I got to design this because I was working on Connexcellent. I got to
Mm-hmm.
work with Tech 70 to design a corner of Explorers Inn. Just a little corner. And so it's the
Little
only room
corner.
I got to work on. Freya did the rest. Freya's amazing and worked with us, but I got to design a little corner of a room. I was excited about that.
I'm guessing that is the where the actual Connect for is.
Yes, Explorers Inn, yes.
Um. So yeah, the next one, which I feel like I know exactly what the answer is here.
Do you? Do you?
I-
I gotta keep you on your toes.
hmm. What's your favorite room?
Well, you would think that I would say the Explorers Inn.
Yeah.
But I already talked about it, so that means I have to give focus on something else.
Which
So
means
it's
you're
Moa
right,
Peak.
but shut up.
So I really like the Moa Peak, which was
Ooh.
designed by other Amanda for like the overworld map. So like that big map that
Mm-hmm.
you see, other Amanda worked on that.
Ooh.
And yeah, I just love that you can mess with the camera controls. You get to see the full sky. You can see how tall the mountain is because like you can look below. I just
Mm-hmm.
love that. You can climb down the cliff. You can slide down the mountain. You can race. There's just like so many fun little ways to like visually interact with it or interact with people. because you could like people watch from up there. You could like do fun things. It's fun.
It's
But
generally such a beautiful sort of vantage point as well.
it is. I like heights in real life. I
Mm-hmm.
love heights. So I'm drawn to that. I like that. But the funny thing about it is even though it's a sled hill, right, where people are racing,
Mm-hmm.
I they don't want to give up. So every time I've tried to race somebody, we'll end up racing all the way to the town square. All the way past the inn, all the way down the mountain, down the stairs, and it's not until you reach the town that people give up and decide who won. So it's like a double hill.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we could stop there, but no. The
Yeah.
we're
No,
now
I'm
in the
not gonna lose. I'm gonna
town.
keep going.
It's like no, let's keep going. Let's do the full island. Let's do 2 laps. Like, you know. That's just
I've
like,
seen people win that way though,
oh
so it's
wow.
it's a strategy. It's a strategy.
It's a bit like Connect Four, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you could add any character to the game or creature, as it were, what would you add? If you had like full sort of like creative decision over it, what would you want?
Oh, this is a really good question. So you're talking about like a creature character,
Yeah, it could
right?
be
Uh,
a Kakapo character. It could be a creature character. Um,
Ooh.
yeah,
I mean, I like character interactions, so can I do it from like a character interaction kind of way?
absolutely, absolutely. It doesn't
Okay, so
exactly have to be a Kakapo either. It can.
I just really like the idea of a villain that's like
Okay.
goofy, okay, goofy,
Yeah.
aloof, and like lighthearted. Like they're the type of villain that could like they could win like very easily if they were just more aware.
Yeah.
But they like I like the ones that like they make like elaborate plans, but it's just like a minor inconvenience. But
Somehow
they're like, oh
really
yeah,
seem
I'm just
tiring.
yeah. It's like I hate that my hair grows too fast. Let me just create the time machine, and then they solve it by creating the problem did not. That's my favorite because they like have these funny character interactions. Because if they're a villain, then you're kind of afraid of them. Like, what could
Hmm.
they create? They could just suddenly decide to create a time machine just because they're feeling petty that they got the wrong sandwich for dinner.
Exactly, and you don't know what the side effects of that are. Because
Yeah, you don't know
yes,
anything.
yes, they have got this really impractical solution to I don't know their hair or their sandwich, but besides that, that then caused sort of a time problem,
Major issues,
right?
yes.
It's like
That's my favorite type. And what I like about that character is that it feels very human
yeah,
because
right,
like all of us like we our biggest enemy sometimes can be ourselves.
yeah,
So it's kind of goofy to make a character that's so caught up in a situation that they don't really remember why they're doing it. They're just doing it.
because that's what they think is right. That's
Yeah, they just think like, "Oh yeah, this is the easy solution, therefore I must do it." That's just very human because
yeah.
there's a lot of ways to solve a problem besides villainy or creating time machines.
And also, I feel like when they're quite dopey, it
Oh
kind of
yes.
opens a sort of door for almost kind of character arc,
Yeah,
as it will,
exactly.
right? Because
Because they're not truly evil, they're just petty.
they're just evil. Wow, in their eyes, they're good. In someone else's eyes, in terms of the Kakapos, they are a villain.
Oh yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
so it's just sort of like a guidance, as it will.
hmm
Um, which is I don't know. I feel like it's an interesting concept in terms of lore as well.
I just like that goofy character interaction mostly. It's funny.
So if you right, so we pin down the characteristics of like this said, character. What would the character look like? Do you think? If you had like
Oh.
choice, it doesn't have to be
It has to
Kakapo.
be sort of cartoonish, so I
Okay.
think it would need like a big bow tie.
Okay.
Yeah, it needs a big bow tie.
Bow
It has
ties are
to it has to
cool.
look a little dramatic, so probably like a flared collar or something, like a popped collar.
Okay.
Maybe a trench coat, maybe it's just, a big turtleneck. I don't know.
Got this
Just
sort of
just
like
give me a cartoonish. I like that just cartoonish, goofy villain, and then maybe add something to the head that makes it look like a little edgy, like I don't know. a hat.
I think you should have like really thick glasses.
Yeah, really thick glasses. That would be
Right? Got
great.
these really
That to show
large
it's intelligent.
pupils.
Yes.
These large pupils, there's this big trench coat, it's kind of like ripped at the bottom where they've like fell over in a puddle or something.
Oh yeah, because they're clumsy. They're
Right?
goofy and aloof. So yeah. So
They're
they've got all that
half
strange
soggy.
thing.
It's, they've got patches where they've tried to sew it up and repair it.
And then they've got their tools with them somehow.
The toys is just gonna be like a little sandwich box. It's gonna.
They always have to have the big red button on them. That's what I think.
Yes. It'd be like the main guy's like, press the button. He's like, I lost it.
He lost it. Yeah, the button just works for whatever the invention is. And he carries it around. That would be funny.
We end up having like the antagonist just holding the button. He's like, oh, for God's sake. But yeah. So, is there any projects of your own you're working on?
So like just like in personal life
Yeah,
kind of
in
stuff.
personal
Yeah.
life, any sort of passion projects. Doesn't have to be anything big. Could be something.
Oh,
You know.
well, for like 8 years, I was super into like role play and like OCs, like original characters, making lore with my best friend and my sister. And I got really into like learning about those character dynamics and stuff like that, story points. I got really invested in that. But what's been fun is that like it kind of like prepared me in a way for like getting into the Party Parrot lore. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's just like it's a fun way to look at things from a story point of view too. I mean, I know we're making a game,
Yes.
but lore exists.
Oh,
Lore is gonna
now
happen.
lore, like, I know I've mentioned it a few times in my videos, but I'm an absolute sucker for lore. And I
Oh
just
yeah.
think I'm such a big fan of, like, my narrative games, such
Mhm.
as, Little Nightmares and Inside and Limbo.
Mhm.
Um, and I think even the Unfinished Swan was a really good one. But I just think that games need lore. I think it's
It
so
just brings them
important,
to life. It's just like the
right?
same thing where like a community elevates a game, a
Exactly.
story elevates a game.
You can't have an open world game without having lore. You just can't. Like,
That's kind of what's funny about that specific like roleplay turned original character kind of stuff. Is like it started as that. It started as just like a goofy role play. That's
mm,
just kind of the stuff that you would start on, playing the virtual worlds. Like, I'm the evil guy and I'm here to press the red button.
yeah,
And
exactly.
now suddenly you're like, no, I want to give him a backstory. No, I want to do this. No, let's find out. Let's find out who he's friends with. Is there a villain squad? That kind of stuff.
It's
But
I've heard this a few times from sort of designers, and it's a good.
mhm.
I do think it is a good practice when you're designing a character or a creature, where you do ask yourself those questions like,
Oh yeah.
what is the character's favorite color?
Oh yeah.
What is the favorite what if the character wanted to go outside for a vacation? Where would that character think is a vacation? What
Oh
does it
yeah.
fear? What does it like? What's its
You heard
favorite
that with the
thing?
cattail design.
Yes, right. So
Except
it's
for
good
when you get
practice.
the more like evolved characters, the more like human elements, the more you really gotta put that effort in
Mm-hmm.
to make sure
Got
they
really
feel
crank the
believable
dial
and
up.
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the thing
But
is,
that's not
lore's
really a
not just characters,
project.
though, is it? Because
Oh no, it's not. It's not. It's just like in
lore can be the
general when you're
world
designing.
itself, right?
Yeah, in the world itself. Exactly. Well,
Like the
it's like
crane next to the airship. That's again
exactly.
sort
Or
of
like
that's
how old
world
is
building.
that tree? How old is that giant tree?
Exactly. Exactly.
And things like, well, if it's a volcanic island, is that giant snow peak, like the Moa Peak, is that a volcano that's just
Mm-hmm.
dormant? Stuff like that. Like,
Exactly.
hmm.
Is there something inside, sleeping inside of that sort
Oh
of
yeah.
mountain? And
Oh yeah.
if
Yes.
that tree is
We
old, has
like
it been
thinking
struck
about
by
that too.
lightning before? Has it
Back to the
got a
Future
hole?
vibes with that one.
Oh, great Scott! You know,
Great Scott, it's a lightning bolt.
it's a lightning bolt, Marty.
It's a lightning bolt.
But yeah.
But yeah,
So
for like projects, I'd say like my biggest project has been like just training my like adolescent puppy who's like now basically a year old, but he's like not fully grown. It takes a lot of work to train large dog breeds. He's a yellow lab, and he is just quite a handful. He's gone and eaten plants just randomly, gone to the vet for that. You have to train them for everything. But
Oof.
it's a big project, but he's the second dog that I've trained. The first one was Sunny in 2009. And so I've learned a lot since then, but it's just like it's hard work. And
Mhm.
until they turn 2 years old, you're just along for the ride
Gotta wing it.
of puppyhood.
You gotta
Yeah.
be the puppy mother, as it
Oh
were. Hmm?
yes. Oh yes. He comes in my room and he'll bark at me to wake up. I'm like, "Oh no. Gotta work on
Fine.
barking. Gotta learn to train the
Yeah.
barking."
So come on, you're doing a bit too good of a job. Like, come on, you know.
Yeah, make it a challenge. He picked one of the like tricks himself. He learned that he wanted to do cross paws, so he'll like sit all regal and cross his paws all regal. And so that's one of his tricks that he taught himself and now he gets rewarded for. So that's I think he's
Ah,
outsmarting me now. I think
uh,
he's trained me.
he's
I think he's
becoming
trained me.
self-aware. He's gonna start
Yeah.
talking next.
Yeah. That's why the large dog
Hmm.
breeds are a little harder. It's a challenge. They're
Like,
smart.
oi, human,
Oh, human, I crossed my paws. Give me a treat.
feed me.
Feed me. Yeah.
But yeah. So, what do you think of this universe, which I guess ties quite well into the lore thing? That is Party Parrot World and Moose in Suits.
Well, let's rephrase that question again. I want to make sure I get it right.
So, what do you think is like the future of this universe that is Party Parrot
Future.
World and Moose in Suits? What do you see this game's potential kind of becoming,
Well, I
as
think
it
that the
were?
future is really big. I know I said I jumped in as soon as I got that message, but the longer I'm around, the more I see how big the plans are.
It's really coming together as well, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, and so I think like the easiest answer for your question is like uh that teaser trailer, right? That
mhm,
teaser trailer has a lot of secrets that a lot of people haven't even noticed yet. Like I of course like tuned in for your live stream of like
club
because I
chit, yeah.
think you had like you had it first
Yes.
before it was even posted. Yeah. So you had a lot of great like fan commentaries in there, but like there's a lot of secrets. Like even Moose like sent me one. He's like, "You didn't notice this one yet." And I'm like, "I did not." Like, what? So there's a lot of stuff in there. And then I think we are planning like a lot of stuff, but the important part is that like we're also like building a virtual world. So as much as we're like planning all the lore and stuff like that, we're also making sure like we don't want to let the community slip away. We want to get something out there. I mean, we posted that teaser trailer and then immediately had closed beta chapter 1 like
Yeah.
basically a week later like, "All right, let's go. Let's go." Cuz we want those good eggs. We want that cycle of creativity
Mhm.
and encouragement for each other to just kind of explode and nourish. So like as much as we're doing the lore, we're also like, making sure that the community's happy. That the good eggs feel like they have a place where they can create, where they can just like come up with those ideas. Like I saw in the Moose and Polo Discord, there are all kinds of talks about what could be going on with that tree. Like there's all this stuff. And so I only know bits and pieces of it. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know everything because I'm a visual artist.
Mhm.
But from what I've seen and from what I've dabbled in, there's a lot for that lore side, but the scale is big. The scale is very big. But you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You have
Exactly.
to
Gotta
start
start small.
small. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you have to start small and it's really just about like, get something out there, The Moose and Polo streams that started last year, like we like jumped straight in once I was like like on the project in September.
Mhm.
We jumped straight in. We're like, "Okay, let's get it for the community. Let's get this. Let's get that out." But at the same time as we're doing all that, we'll like release secrets like, "Ooh, there's all these secrets in the trailer." That's not all the secrets that we have
Yeah.
but we also want to make sure like it's a balance. So
So I mean, it was
you
so cool that teaser though, because I
mhm.
remember there is actually like an entire private video. So this is the weird thing. That video which was released there's actually like two versions of it. So there's
Mhm.
the original, which everyone saw, and
Good
then
catch.
all right,
Mhm.
and then there was basically another one, which was pretty much all the mistakes I'd made before. It was kind of
Oh wait, you made two
decoding.
versions of the video?
Yes. So there's
You made two versions. Oh, I thought you were talking about how we had two versions of the video.
no.
Ooh, okay.
So,
Continue. Sorry.
which makes me think there is actually two versions of that video. But
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
oh, someone's gonna get
It's just the
fired.
vertical one, guys. It's just the vertical one, and it has a couple other Easter eggs hidden in there. It's not that big of a
It's not
deal.
that big. It's not that big. So, but yeah, there is two versions of that. So maybe someday I'll have to release that. But I do think it was quite good in some sense because I think I did manage to sort of decode a lot of that.
You did. You did a great job, and I love that you got that first thing because you've been here from the community since like the beginning.
Mhm.
Like you were on The Voice on the Moose and Polo the Twitch show.
I was. I was
Yeah,
such.
so
That was such a because I remember I literally went to Moose. I was like, yeah, I want to do voice acting in the future, but I don't really know how to exactly get into it. And he said, you can voice act for the stream. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, send me some sound bites and I'll do it on the stream. And I was just like, uh, it, uh, yeah, sure. So, I sent in like these 6 clips. I was like, what do you want me to say? And then that's kind of what you hear, you
but
know?
that's what celebrating the good eggs in the community is all about. You just gotta hype them up, continue the support train, and
It
it ends up as
is.
a cycle. Cause like I hyped up Moose and Polo 10 years ago, and now I'm here hyping you up 10 years later, and who knows where you'll be 10 years from now.
God
Probably,
knows.
probably, hopefully not 10 years from now,
But
but
yeah,
10 years will come.
eventually. We all dread it, but yeah, hopefully,
We all
yeah,
need that
it's
time
weird.
machine.
Oh yeah, to solve the hair issue, of course. But there you go. But it's yeah, I
But
don't
we
know. It's such
wouldn't
a
we
wild
wouldn't
thing.
put those secrets. We wouldn't put those secrets in that video if there wasn't a lot planned.
Yes,
Because we don't want to reveal it all.
because the
But
thing
you
is,
got
there
to start
was
with the
a lot
game.
of kind of stuff in there which wasn't exactly visually
Hmm.
seen. Like, for example, at the start of the teaser video, you can hear like a very villainous laugh,
Hmm.
which you can hear for like a brief 5 seconds, and that's like, oh, what's this? What's this? There's a laugh of a
There's a
mischievous man.
laugh.
What could this mean? Mwah. But yeah, it's very good. Because I remember, like, literally that video. I was so excited when it was first sent to me. I spent 24 hours learning Sister numerals. I remember I was messaging Kat. I was just literally just frustrated that entire night. I was so just. I went through about 4 different pieces of paper just trying to learn Sister numerals just so I could understand what these things were. And I think it's just that alone is sort of that charm of just
Well,
putting
yeah,
those
because you
secrets in
want to
there,
add those layers. You want to add those
right?
layers because, like, we know that we're gonna have like an older audience. You know,
Yes.
you're an adult basically,
Yeah.
basically, and so therefore it's like you want to have those different layers. So even though we're like aiming Party Parrot World at kids, you want to make sure like, okay, what's the level of secret, and so the secret keeps getting deeper the like more you search.
Yes. It's a bit like
Yes,
when they
because you don't
hide
want to
those
make it too
adult jokes
hard.
in like children cartoons, right?
Oh,
It's
thankfully not the adult jokes, but
yes, but it's you get what I mean. It's for
yeah, yeah,
those
yeah.
sort of older audiences, which
Yeah,
obviously kids
exactly.
won't quite understand. And
Yes.
then when kids, grow up,
Because
they're
like I
like,
think they'll like
"Oh,
the pizza ninjas.
yes,
Yes. Those ones are gonna be really good. So
Cal,
that's revealed.
Mozza, and
Yeah, Cal, Maza, and Roni.
Roni." That's it.
Yes. So that's kind of like our secret society in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the kids.
Yes.
So you've got their secret pizza identity, and then you've got their actual ninja
Which I
identity.
think is so cool. It's
Yeah, that's a lot easier than trying to decode all of the secrets or search all the stuff. Because like we with 1 year of content, we have more than I think we can really remember. I know there's a lot in the Moose and Polo streams and in the
hmm
Parrot announcements. I still use Parrot announcements to go try to find old photos.
Yeah.
It's a good resource. It's a
It
good
really
resource.
is. It's like actually really well documented on terms of
Yeah.
what's in there.
Well, that would be thanks to Polo because he was
Yes.
totally into documenting that old video game stuff. So
So if you
we're not
guys
an
ever
old
want to
video
find
game.
that stuff, then yeah, go
Yeah.
to the parent thing after doing the whole verification process, of course. But
Yeah.
definitely worth your time.
Just keep digging. You'll find more.
Exactly. Just
They'll be even in
keep
the Parrot
going.
chat too. It's all
Yes.
mixed in there.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's literally just I don't know. My best bet would just put has image and just put in there just to make you
Oh yeah.
process it. But it's crazy.
Sorted
Much
by
it's
how old it
documented.
is.
Yeah. Oh wow. You'll be baffled because, I mean, I think my Twitter was like, what, 1 year old? Like this channel alone has gone through its first birthday, which is
Congrats.
mental. Thank you very much. I think it was. I think Tech pointed this out. I can't remember if it was Twitter or my. I think it might have been my Twitter, but I think my Twitter is like as old as
The Discord.
the Discord,
Yeah.
which is
That's awesome.
weird, right? An entire year. Like this generally feels like this has been like 2 months doing all this. Like, but it's weird to think. Oh yeah, this has been a year. Like I was still in college when Party Parrot World was, in the Moose and Polo sort of podcast. So it's trippy. It's very very trippy. But
That's kind of like how time flies. So it's like one of the
yeah,
jokes we've made is like the parents aren't even living in 2022. They're not thinking about the coronavirus or stuff like that. They're just having fun partying
yeah,
because
right.
there's no problems there. It's an escape place for you to feel safe and innocent and not think about the harsh stuff.
And I
It's
like that
just
as well because it kind of
yeah,
applies to thingy as well.
yeah,
The Moose in suits because
yeah.
Moose keeps making the joke that every day is Monday.
Oh
And
yeah. There's a whole set of lore for that one too. I'm just
right,
going
which
from the
I'm
parrot perspective.
so pumped for. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be really good, and I
Hmm.
like this. I'm a big sucker for like
But the
dystopian
moose
sort of
stuff has
things.
that heavy lore that you're into.
Yes, exactly. And I'm much more of a fan of like like my dystopian and quite like dark
Yeah.
sort of stuff, I suppose. And I love this sort of idea that they are all they know is work, 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 work,
Oh
work.
yes.
And I like the idea that one day one moose is gonna break out of that cycle and then be like,
Oh
huh,
yeah. So there's a lot of fun
something
lore,
isn't
and I
right.
think it will appeal to the older audience.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a fun little tidbit for you. We'll even see if
Oh,
Moose remembers this. This is fun facts from a 10 year ago memory
oh
or
wow.
so, which is the origins of a moose land and the origins of moose lore,
Oh.
because this might interest you. So, back when Moose Land was but a dream, moose could fly with antlers. That was part of the lore. They needed a takeoff point, and you had to fly to Moose Land with your antlers. It was the place where pizza grew on trees.
What?
It was quite a zany world, but what I'm guessing is what happened. And this is just from a fan perspective. This isn't lore talk. I'm thinking maybe these moose destroyed that world.
I think they
And
might have, to be honest.
I think they, I think they might have destroyed that world. I don't think the pizza grows on trees anymore, but the coffee does run everything.
Yeah, and somehow they ended up underground in a bunker. But and,
It's like that's why they don't fly with their antlers anymore.
oh my god.
So that's the goofy origins of Mooseland, per what I remember as a
Mm.
teenager.
Maybe it could be a case of, like the Lorax, where, they think like, oh, the outside is sort of dangerous, but in this case, like the outside, it's the parrots have took over it now. They found, oh, this unclaimed island.
Oh.
And there you go. So it used to be,
I've got a good theory there. It's
right? So
interesting.
Party Parrot
Yeah.
World used to be Moose Land. It used to be what the mooses learned, such as the ancient runes and stuff.
Oh
But
yeah, and that's going into like the actual lore of the game, not the funny 10-year-old
yeah,
talking
exactly.
about.
Uh, but
Yeah.
it's all imagination and all that sort of stuff, which would be quite
So
funny.
there's all kinds of secrets in there. So, but I'm sure you will like Moose in Suits.
I can't wait. I've been so pumped for the Moose game. It's gonna be so cool. So cool.
Hmm.
But yeah, next question. What's been the highlight of working on the Party Parrot team?
Okay. So it's gonna be a little cliche,
Okay.
but basically it's watching each person grow with like on the team, with their roles, with their collaboration, their teamwork, and then like their skills. Because we're all just starting out and trying to like, complement each other's strengths and grow so that we can, keep pumping out content because we're just starting up. We're just starting up. So it's like it's really cool to see how each person because like I told you, I'm like I was a fan
Mhm.
originally of Moose and Polo. So like I've done growing since I've been here. Tech 70 was a fan too. Uh like a lot of um a lot of the people that were like talked about during the like Moose and Polo show days were basically just like fans that got added onto the team. So like Dialga, Freya, EMI. It's cool to see each person grow, but it's also cool because like it really does complement each other. It's seeing teamwork. It's like you see like those funny like video not videos, TV shows and movies are like teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
But it really does. Like there's an importance to teamwork and trusting each other and collaborating. And so there's no I in team. So like if somebody tells me Chili designed the parrots, I'm gonna be like, well,
Not
I mean I
exactly.
did not exactly because like I got a lot of feedback. So just as
Mhm.
much as you could say Chili designed the parrots, the
Yes, I drew
community
it, but
designed the parrots. I drew it,
it's
but
your
like
feedback which inspired my
yeah,
drawings. Like
exactly.
if you hadn't have
So
said, oh, what about this? That wouldn't have been in that drawing.
exactly. Like I had no idea that the cheek swirlies would be the popular option because like we were basing it off of the Kakapo at the beginning,
Yeah,
so it was
yeah.
just like it was funny to see like, oh, the cheek swirlies. Well, they are really cute. So I'm happy that the community voted on that one because I think they're adorable.
Mhm.
But in terms of like the more normal answer to that question, it's been the beta test, the closed beta test,
Oh.
chapter one. It's
Mhm.
just been so incredible to see how many people want to play,
Mhm.
how many people care about the project. And what's special is seeing people say like for a moment I felt like a kid again. Like I'm on here and I feel like a kid. Like I could just walk up to somebody, I don't know anything about them, and just like, "Hey, I'll give you the menu. What do you want?" And they're like, "I want nothing." I'm like, "Let me go check the kitchen for nothing." Couldn't find it. Sorry, I couldn't find nothing. It's just innocent. It's fun and it's collaborative. So seeing like the people make videos, like your videos and people doing walkthroughs, it's just like it's fun. It's creative. It's seeing it come to life. Like we've been dreaming as we've been making this. Yes, we've been sharing it with the community, but it
Yeah.
finally feels like it's out there. It exists. Like people I've seen them swap their profile photos over to like photos that they took from the closed beta. It
Mhm.
feels real. So it's just really sweet to see that we succeeded. The good eggs found their home where they can be creative and, have fun with each other. That magical experience that I remember as a teenager. I
Mhm.
am actually being able to help bring that environment back. And that's the highlight of working for the Party Parrot World team.
There we go. I think you probably put that in the best possible way you could. You know, like being able to, yeah, I can completely agree why that would be a highlight. Being able, I mean, just from here, being, you know, essentially a fan, um,
Mhm.
seeing everyone kind of use this game as like a creative output and seeing what people have made and
Mhm.
seeing these new channels pop up and all this stuff and the
Mhm.
drawings and, you know, Fantlers, the fake advertisements. So when I did the Moosey's TV and
And it just creates that cycle of support because
exactly.
you don't think about the team being cheerleaded by the community.
Mm.
But that's really what it
You
is.
just
Like
take it for
that's
yeah. You just go,
yeah, it's
oh,
the full
well, they
circle
drew
moment.
it. It's like yeah, but, well, you're not wrong.
Yeah,
they did draw it, but it wasn't just them drawing. It's the ideas which make that drawing.
exactly.
You know, but there you go.
So I try to credit every single person on the team that worked on a project when somebody says they like something. So it's like if you say you like Explorers In, you got to think Tech 70 and Freya and a little tiny bit me. No, I'm kidding.
And all
But
me, you know.
it's all me, guys. I drew it. Okay.
Yeah, guys, I actually made all the content for this. All me, you
No,
know.
but it's totally a group effort. It's all about the cheerleading of the community
Yeah,
and that cycle of support.
absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Right, I guess that brings us to our last question, sadly. But
Okay.
if someone was to ask you how to improve at their artistic skill set, what would be your best sort of advice to them?
All right, this question, I'll admit, it makes me very sentimental because it is the full circle moment. So I have two replies for this. I have my advice, and then I have the advice that was given to me 10 years ago.
Give both of them. Do it.
Yeah, all right. So
Slay.
the advice from me is find what inspires you, who inspires you, and just create in short bursts to start, just to get you in the mood, okay? Show someone you care about them, even if it's a stick figure. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be elaborate, okay? But that gets you in the creative headspace, okay? Because you start a chain reaction, that chain reaction I said, that cycle of support, okay? And that's what leads people to passion and inspiration, okay? So, in terms of like actual growth, you got to keep testing out ideas, and that's why I like a lot of people when they say grow as an artist, you should do like these big elaborate things. I'm like, do short bursts or big passion bursts, whatever you have the energy for. If you want to spend 17 hours making a figure, spend 17 hours making a figure. If you want to spend 2 hours making a figure or 15 minutes,
I make
it's
40 of
for
them.
somebody. It's for somebody. They'll
Yeah.
appreciate it. Okay? But you got to keep testing out ideas, and you shouldn't judge your skill based on where you are right now. Because if you look at your art and you think, this looks trash, I'm a trash artist, I should just give up. Why am I even drawing? Nobody liked it, nobody interacted with it, or I can just tell my lines are crooked. That is actually a sign that you've improved. That's a sign that you grew as an artist from when you drew that. You learned something from that art. And if you keep that growth mindset, it prevents that catastrophic thinking of, I shouldn't even try. So
Mhm.
mix it up with the small doodles, okay? And then also then do the thing that all the other artists would say. Challenge yourself. Okay.
Mhm.
So the biggest growth that I got when I was doing like the little fan art is each month that I made my mega illustration, because I would only have enough time to make one of those big things
Yeah.
like once a month. I'd be like, okay, what am I going to focus on here? I'm going to focus on color. I'm going to focus on actually drawing hands.
Okay.
All right. Just pick one challenge. Don't overwork yourself with a bunch of challenges all at once. And that way you improve. You improve because you've challenged yourself, but you're also not like making yourself think you're a terrible artist.
Mhm.
So start small. Don't be afraid of mistakes, because like there are no mistakes in art. That's my favorite quote from Bob Ross. So I took some art classes, but I'm mostly self-taught. But I recommend, if they're trying to do digital art specifically, get a screenless drawing tablet. It doesn't have to be like one of those mega expensive ones. You can get a really cheap one.
You can.
Um,
Yep.
you can get Krita, which is free. That's not a sponsorship. I'm just saying.
Fire alpacas are
Yeah,
good ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a free program, and it works a lot like Photoshop. But what I'm working on now is in Vector. So I learned Vector on the free program Inkscape, but now I'm drawing in Adobe products. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's a little bit pricey, so that's why I'm like, learn on Inkscape. Don't don't
You can
don't
get
buy
it for
those big
free.
subscriptions.
Do it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you could get it for free, do it.
Right.
So that's my answer. And now I'm gonna end with a little bit of sentimental for you. All
No.
right. So to really layer on this sentimental value, this interview ended up being on the exact same day that I was encouraged and I submitted my first like actual Club Penguin fan art.
Ho ho ho.
This is the 11th anniversary of actually like getting involved in the community and being a fan artist.
And this
So
wasn't intentional either. This
it was
was not.
not intentional at all, and
This
I just
just.
love that.
This was generally just fate. This was the only day I was kind of available, and so were you, funny
Exactly.
enough.
Yeah, and
Um,
so it's a total coincidence.
it is.
And I'm here because of that drawing. Because of that drawing. So make fan art, because you don't, and sign your name and sign your name,
And
because
sign your
then
name.
people can know you drew it and
Exactly.
you can make a difference. But that first drawing was kind of a charity drawing at the time. That's a whole another story. So I'll get into the stuff that you came here to ask, which is,
Yes.
what did the Club Penguin team tell me when I was a little teenager trying to learn how to draw?
A little
Okay.
kid.
I had colored pencils and I was making polymer clay figures. So we've got, take as many art classes as you can, study from real life, draw every day, learn by studying many different art styles because it teaches you to be flexible. And that advice is from the twins, which some people may know the
Ah,
twins. Yes.
yes, I'm very
Okay.
familiar with the twins.
So another tidbit there, follow your dreams. Draw every day. Draw from passion. And that's from Carmen, Leah, and Rachel, who are also on the team.
Carmen, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Draw
yeah.
from life. Draw whatever you see from Emily. All right. So Carrie has like the actual stuff, okay? Carrie's here to say, learn the basics of character
Yeah.
design, staging, and perspective, and that is very true. Because you can learn a lot even if you just get like the little basic version of it. That's solid advice.
Mhm.
So, and then this is kind of a mixture of all of the different ones I got, but it's like a, keep being inspiring to people around you and share your art with others. Okay?
Mhm.
Because sharing your art is really what makes the difference, okay? Because you're sharing that passion and then you make that contagious thing of inspiring another person, and you're in this cycle of creating, okay? But my favorite one is gonna make you laugh, and I think I've actually stolen this one a little bit as a teenager. I'm just like, this is my favorite one. Keep being awesome, from Melissa, because you can be the best version of yourself.
Mhm.
And that's why I like keep being awesome.
Gotta aspire to be the best version, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's it. To put it straight, it's. I think
yeah,
a good goal for everyone, isn't it? Really,
yeah.
to
It's a simple goal.
be better. That's it.
Yeah,
Uh,
just keep growing. Just keep
exactly.
trying to make something fun. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be flawless. It just has to be fun.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my journey, and I hope that in some way that it would be fun if someone else got inspired by this.
Yes.
So, I think I gotta make a challenge then. I
Oh,
think I gotta
I
make a
agree.
challenge. All right, since this is the anniversary of that drawing that
Whoa.
started me on this, if anyone draws, okay, a parrot wearing a coat or giving a coat to another parrot, all right, either one, just a parrot with a coat, all right,
Yeah.
and they at me, all right, at Chili1, either on Discord or on Twitter, then I am going to donate to the coat fund, okay, for charity.
Oh.
Because that is the reason that I started, is it was a charity thing. Draw your penguins in a coat and we'll donate to charity. Except for I'm doing it now. Right? I'll donate to charity if you send me a parrot wearing a coat for this anniversary. So
So
let's see what people create.
each submission is how much will be
All
donated.
right. So each submission I will put let's see. I can't let this get too expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think I'll do a $5 donation for each one.
$5 for each one.
Yeah.
This is where you get like 3,000
Oh.
submissions.
Yeah. This is the chili warm hearts challenge.
There you go. The Chili Warm Hearts Challenge, everyone. So make sure to. We can maybe talk to Polo or someone about this and get a channel made or something.
Yeah. Yeah, so I
Um,
can start posting these lovely images. Kind of
exactly.
keep the cycle going.
So everyone, yeah, draw. I don't know. You can even draw some mooses as well. I think that's allowed. Right?
Yeah, draw mooses. Yeah.
Draw mooses. Draw Kakapo in a coat, and make sure to.
I'd love
send
to
it.
see your interpretation of the designs that me and the community helped create.
Yes.
Yes.
Even maybe potentially some new designs.
Oh, exactly. I love that too.
Draw some coats from, your favourite TV show, Star Trek, Doctor Who. I'm a bit biased here.
Oh, Doctor Who, yeah.
Which, fun fact, in case people don't know, my actual Parrot's suit is actually Matt Smith's 11th Doctor
That's a
outfit.
fun Easter egg.
Alright, so there you go.
Inspired.
Talking about secrets, huh?
Keep inspiring.
Keep inspiring. Bow ties
Yeah.
are cool. All that sort of stuff.
Well, thank you so much for this
there you go.
interview, Agent.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for, taking your time to, spend these, time to answer these questions, basically.
Yeah.
And also,
It's been a pleasure.
Congratulations on 11 years.
Thank you.
That is crazy to me.
Yeah, it's crazy to me too.
Otherwise, we wouldn't see you now. So
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you did do that.
You never know what the future holds.
Exactly. What would we do without Chili in our lives? What would we do? So, yeah, that's been it, guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully you
Nice-
guys
nice
enjoyed.
talking.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all make some art, and I'll look forward to seeing it.
Yes, get submitting, and all of it will be going to a very, very good cause. So there's no reason why you can't. So yeah,
And hopefully you don't blow my bank.
Chili's
But if you do, it's for a good cause.
So when you upload, guys, I think we should post hashtag Chili Bankrupt. I think it's quite a good tag. But yeah, so this has been it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, like Chili said, you enjoyed this interview. And if you want more of these sort of interviews, maybe, I don't know, maybe, wink wink, nudge nudge, we could get some more done with other team members, and you could even drop some questions down below on what sort of questions do you want answered for other team members. But yes, before I start rambling again, this has been me, Agent Psycho. This has been
Really? Thanks for the interview. Keep being awesome.
There you go. All right.
Bye.
As always, agents, keep an eye out.